alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My sisters, my gorgeous, gorgeous queens, welcome back to the Queen Mentality Podcast with me, Malika, Majesty, Malika, if you want to pronounce it correctly, or my government name if you know me by that. I digress. Here we are, episode 2. I realized last episode I didn't even introduce myself, so that's gorgeous. I said a little bit about me, my business, etc. You can go back and listen if you want to, but I have a theme for this episode, and the theme is confidence. Something that some of you may lack. And we're here to change that immediately. So I'm going to give you all the tools you need to improve your confidence. I'm going to let you know what true confidence is. And yeah, we're just going to dive right into it. I'm sure all my YouTube listeners can see the change of scenery. I've moved out of my husband's weird office. Not weird. It's just, very manly, very masculine, not very me. But this is my space, and I think this will be a cute area for the podcast, inshallah. So let's dive right into it. First of all, what is true confidence, right? And we are not only going to touch on physical confidence, but that is one thing that really holds women back is physical confidence and being in competition with other women, which, not to bring Islam into it immediately, but that's another reason for the hijab. Like, I feel like, and it's really hard for me as a Muslim woman to have this conversation without bringing hijab into it and without bringing my religion into it. But hijab is always seen in such a way that centers men. And I feel like it's always forgotten that hijab also makes women be in less competition with each other. We don't have to compete with our hair, our bodies, our looks as much as, is normalized in the Western world. We are judged based on our deeds, our character, our souls, our acts, our good deeds, rather than how we look, which is really, really beautiful. But we will be touching on physical confidence and beauty, etc. because, we gotta be realistic. Okay. Anyway. However, we all do know that true beauty comes from the soul. And I'm sure we can all think of some people who maybe aren't the best looking, but they have a beautiful spirit and a beautiful energy. And that makes them attractive. Like, that makes them a beautiful person, is their energy and the way they carry themselves and their talents that they may have, or, just their heart, the goodness of their heart. And that's why I say true beauty really does come from the soul. Like, I feel like your soul is going to outshine your physical vessel. That's just that. The aura speaks for itself. So, yeah. The prettiest thing you can have is a pretty aura and a pretty energy and a pretty heart. So, let's get that out there before we go into the physical. Because I want to talk about the physical. It's very real. As women, like, it's so pushed on us to like be beautiful. Like, that's literally what you think of when you think of a woman, is like beauty. So let's get into the real tea, okay? Physical confidence. Being confident in how you look. Being confident in your features, your body, your face, what you have, what God gave you. And we live in a world where plastic surgery is so normalized. Like, someone could be born, como se dice. Let me not say that, because everybody's beautiful in their own way. Let's take like Kylie Jenner, for example. She had no lips. But she got procedures to give her lips. People who don't have any type of shape to their body get surgeries, risk a 50% death rate to change their bodies to look a certain way. So physical things can be changed, but that's not confidence. That's not confidence. That's insecurity. And I'm all for people doing, like, you can do whatever you want. And I think everybody should be able to do something that makes them feel more confident, but you have to be real. It comes out of a place of insecurity. So, what is true confidence? Being confident in what you are without anything, without any enhancements. And that's where you have to start. Is, do I truly love the way I look? Do I truly love the features that God gave me? Do I love the shape of my nose? Do I love my body type? Do I love my hair? Do I love my face? Do I love my eye color? Do I love my this and this and this and that? And everybody has insecurities, but it's like, I could get deep and spiritual and be like, just be grateful that you have a body that is functioning. Just be grateful that you have a body. Be grateful that you have hands that work. Be grateful that you have senses that you can experience the world with. But we're gonna have to be a little superficial, okay? Just because we're talking about this. So we gotta have that ground zero. You have to be completely confident in who you are and what God gave you, without wanting to change it. And that's where I land the plane. If you can look at every single part of yourself and say, I don't want to change this, I am happy with the way I am, that is true confidence. And comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. So if you're sitting here saying, man, I wish I had green eyes, but my eyes are brown, you're comparing yourself to something else. And that's making you look at what you have as less. Or me, for an example, growing up, seeing the girls in my class have, straight hair and like the blonde haired, blue eyed type. And I was always like comparing myself to them. And I would always want my mom to like straighten my hair when I was little, to try to like fit in with them. And then when I got older, like when I became a woman, I was like, I'm gorgeous. Like, why was I ever trying to be like them? Like, I don't need to be like them. And it's like, sometimes it takes time. It takes time to appreciate what you have, but it's like, you have to stop comparing yourself to other people. You have to stop comparing yourself to other people. And something I love about women is like, our beauty is all so different, but it makes each other more beautiful. Like, it's like we don't have to compare our beauty, because our beauty reflects off of each other. My beauty is going to make your beauty look more beautiful because I don't have it. You know what I mean? My beauty is going to make your beauty look more beautiful because I don't have it. Our beauty can complement each other, right? We don't have to compare. We don't have to compete. Everybody is so beautiful in their own way. And it's like, we could never be like each other. We could be like each other, but we could never look like each other. There's beauty in the differences. And it's not even about other people's perceptions. It's about your perceptions. And it's hard. It's hard when you compare yourself to others. And I feel like with the internet, we're constantly comparing ourselves to others. And that's why people are more insecure than ever. That's why people are getting all these surgeries and risking their life to look like what the beauty standard is online. Like, not even in person, online. It's crazy. It's really crazy to me. And, may God protect all of our daughters and sons growing up in this world because, subhanAllah. Anyway, back to my point. You need to sit with yourself, maybe journal about this, take out a journal and open a page and say, am I truly confident? Do I love everything about myself? And we can start physically, but it really has to be spiritually. And that's the real tea. We'll get into that in a moment. But we're going to start service level, like I said. So this is where you start. Take a journal, or you could just think about it. What are the things that, like, if you had the chance to change things, what would you change? And then you have to kind of like look into those and think, were these insecurities created by comparison to other people? What types of people? Why? Why did it make me feel like this? Etc. Etc. I feel like once you recognize emotions and like where they were created and stem from, and then you kind of get rid of those beliefs, then you start to appreciate yourself more and your features more. If you are the most beautiful woman ever, but you leave a bad taste in people's mouths, your beauty means nothing. Your beauty means nothing. And at the end of the day, we're all gonna die. Like, our beauty really does mean nothing. It's important. I mean, there's even hadiths about choosing a wife that's beautiful. Like, obviously, beauty is important. Beauty is a part of being a woman. Like, we enjoy that. We enjoy being beautiful. We enjoy being appreciated. We enjoy being feminine. We enjoy taking care of ourselves and looking nice. But it's not everything. At the end of the day, the only thing that's going to last is your deeds and the positive impact that you made on this earth. So, that's why I say take the physical lightly, because the physical is the snowflake on top of the iceberg, okay? Now let's get into your soul, because a bad seed is going to grow a bad tree with bad fruits. You don't want bad fruits. You want good fruits that taste sweet and that heal the body. Proverbs 16:24. Pleasant words are like a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Speaking positively to yourself, to others, that will increase your beauty. That will increase your health, spiritually and physically. And I fear I may sound crazy, but if you know, you know. Energy is everything. You need to have good feelings about yourself. And that's why we started with the physical. Because if you have all of these negative emotions towards your physical self and you have all these insecurities and you're always worried about how you look and, oh, what if they think I'm this and that and I don't look like this and I want to look like this. If you're operating spiritually at a place of insecurity, you're not going to be able to move to the next level. You can't even get past the physical. That's why we started with that. So really sit on that. And once you get to the place where you're like, yeah, I love me. I really do. I love the way I was created. For me, I guess I could give one example. I wish I was more secure in myself as a young girl. Like, I was born with a very big tooth gap. And that was such an insecurity for me. But now that I'm an adult woman, I miss that. I wish I never got braces. Like, I wish I never fixed that. There was nothing wrong with my teeth. It was just a tooth gap. And I really wonder, like, what if I had kept that? Like, what if, like, beauty standards hadn't gotten to me as a kid? And now I have a beautiful daughter, alhamdulillah. You guys saw her in the first episode. But she has my tooth gap. It's so beautiful, and I love seeing it on her, and it's just so our personalities, and it's so cute, and I love it. I love tooth gaps. And that's the thing about insecurity, is it can have you make choices that maybe you don't want forever. When you have that mentality of like, all I need to change is the physical, then you're going to attract people who only care about the physical. And it's like, if you're beautiful on the outside and that's all you're worried about, then that's all the people around you are going to be worried about. You need deep emotional connections with people to be truly fulfilled. And like I said, if you're only operating out of the consciousness of worrying about your physical appearance or how you appear to other people in the 3D realm, then I mean, that's what your life is going to be. So let's move on. Spiritually, what do you like about yourself? What do you not like about yourself? What are the demons you have, to be quite frank? What are the demons you have? Are you super anxious? Do you get really angry? You know, what are the spiritual bad fruits that you need to purge? What are the branches that you need to cut off in order to thrive? That's one thing to think about. Are you very judgmental of others? Do you gossip? First of all, you got to look at if you're committing sins. Like, if you're committing major sins, that is immediately going to have a toll on your spirit and your soul. Immediately. Because your aura is what you do in private. Your aura is who you are, like, even when no one's watching. And that's why having God consciousness and taqwa is so important, because it's like you have to realize that there is always people around you. Not people, but like angels, jinns. God is always watching you. Whatever your case may be, I know at the end of the day, we have two angels right next to us at all times, being a witness to what you're doing, writing everything down. So it's like, if you're not conscious of that, you should be operating at that place where you realize I'm being watched at all times. But not for
Allah
our
doesn't
actions.
hold us accountable
So,
for our
like,
thoughts.
if you think something, like, let's say somebody really fugly walks past you and you're like, in your head, you know, that person's really not cute. That's cool. But then if you turn to Rebecca next to you and you're like, that girl's hideous, like, absolutely cooked, face butter, all of that, then that's a bad deed. Then that is going to make you spiritually ugly. And you don't want to do that, okay? Like, you got to keep it in. You got to reel it in. And you have to look at the people around you too. And sometimes you got to do a purge. Sometimes you got to purge the people around you. And it's hard if it's family. But it's like, if you're used to gossiping with somebody and like that's like a normal thing, it's very hard to get out of that. I had to end a 10-year friendship because of the sin of gossip, because it was that serious. And you also get sins if you listen to someone gossip. Like, even if you're not participating in that, if your sister is coming to you and saying, oh, this girl, yeah, she did this and this and this, you're getting bad deeds too. And when you gossip about somebody, your good deeds go to them, that person that you're gossiping about. So, like, if you really don't like somebody, maybe just talk to Allah about them. Because, like, if you really truly don't like somebody, why would you want them getting your good deeds? Like, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Just leave it alone. Just leave them alone. Like, you don't even need to waste your energy on that. Like, if you don't like somebody, leave them alone. That's one thing I don't understand is like haters. Why do you have the energy to hate? Just leave them alone. If you don't like somebody, leave them alone. Like, don't even perceive their energy. Like, that's how I feel. If I don't like somebody, block, delete, get away from me. I don't need to see you. I don't need to witness you. I don't need to perceive you. And you don't need to perceive me. Period. It's that simple. Stay away from the things that incite sin and negative emotions within you. And like I said, it is hard when it's family. So if you have like bad relationships with your family or things like that, then that's a little bit of a harder case. And you got to be a little bit more spiritually strong to withstand those situations. But alhamdulillah, Allah is the most merciful. He's Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. He's the most merciful, the especially merciful. He understands us. He created us. He forgives us constantly. So, just at the end of the day, talk to Allah about your problems. You gotta give it to God, man. Also, okay, we can talk about things that inspire confidence, being a good person. Being a good person should make you feel very confident. Knowing the truth should make you feel very confident. Some people listening to this could not be Muslim, but when you know the truth, and like Islam is the truth, it's the truth about life, it's the truth about the afterlife, it's the truth about everything, it's the truth about how we were created. When you know the truth, that gives you confidence in itself. And it gives you confidence in your purpose and what you were created for. And every human is so different. So different. So it's like we all have the sole purpose of worshiping Allah and, fulfilling our rights to each other as Muslims and being guardians over each other and doing our good deeds and, helping out our brothers and sisters around the world, being good people, raising the vibration of the entire earth and consciousness, collective consciousness, with that goodness and that spiritual purity. However, we all are different beings. We all have different purposes and different talents. So, once you've got the basics of Islam down, and Islam just means submission to God, submission to God's will. So that's already fulfilling your purpose. That's already like, you're on the right path. Surat al-Mustaqim. You're on the straight path, doing what you're supposed to be doing. But if you want to turn it up and take it up to the next level, you have to do a little bit of soul searching and find out, okay, what's my purpose? Like, what else can I be doing besides fulfilling my salah, giving my zakat and sadaqah, like all of these things? What else can I be doing? What is my talent? So let's say someone's very good at art. Maybe do some calligraphy, some Islamic calligraphy. I've seen a lot of girlies do that. It's gorgeous. MashaAllah. Your thing could be making clothes. Shout out Amana Apparel. Go get you some abayas, girls. You could be making clothes, providing beautiful clothes for women to wear. You have to find your talent and find your niche. One of my talents is yapping. But I'm a multifaceted being. Some people are writers. Like myself, I'm a writer. My little sister-in-law, she's an amazing writer. She has a new book out, Fatima Bass Books. Get with her. I'm just gonna shout out all my girls at this point. But for real though, I love that for the girls. I like when the girls find their niche and what they love and the talents that Allah gave them, that gives you confidence. Finding your purpose gives you confidence on a soul level, because you're working towards a bigger purpose. And that's something, even before I was Muslim, I started going down a very spiritual journey. I told you guys in the first episode, I was kind of raised pretty spiritual. There's a lot of spiritual people in my family, and I kind of went on a journey without Islam on the spirituality path, and kind of was trying to figure out my purpose, but it doesn't become clear to you until you submit to the will of God. It doesn't become clear to you at all fully until you are practicing Islam. I'm being so serious right now, and this is a little deep, but I've seen both sides. I am a revert to Islam. I have seen both sides. Before Islam, when you're not on the right path and you think you're doing the right thing, you think you're on the right path. Oh, I just got this opportunity. Oh my gosh, this just happened. The devil can use things like that to deceive you. The devil mimics real God-given synchronicities to lead you down the path to destruction. That's why there's so many people in the spiritual space, and this is a whole episode. This is a whole other episode. I could go so down this topic, okay? But we're just gonna touch on it this episode. We'll get into this. Don't you worry. Subscribe and like. We'll get into this. But the devil will deceive you. And the devil has so many tricks. Allah gave Satan some sort of dominion over the earth. And it's a battle every day. It truly is. Fasting can help. Fasting restricts the blood. And there's a hadith that says, like, shaitan is, like, running in our blood. So fasting can help restrict, you know, evil desires and, like, kind of weed out what is truly God wanting you to go somewhere versus the devil pulling you there. And if you're praying your 5 prayers, you should have no problem discerning that at all. But, yeah, we'll get into that at a different time. That's a little much right now. We're talking about confidence. Okay. But, you know, it is confidence. When you're able to walk with confidence, when you know where you're going and you know where you came from, you could take steps with a little more vigor, a little more confidence. When you don't know where you're going and you don't know where you came from and you're confused, you're going to be stepping all over the path. You might even wander off of it. So, knowing the truth and being rooted in your faith, that's true confidence, okay? So we got through physical, we got through spiritual. Ooh, now let's get into how to act, okay? How to act. Or when people try you. Those are 2 really good topics. Honestly, I'm going to make a whole episode about haters because I've experienced haters my whole life. You need to have confidence first before we can deal with the haters, okay? Because when you love yourself, what can anybody say to you? When you love the way you look, what can anybody say about your appearance? Oh, your eyebrows are too bushy. I love them. I literally love them. What's your point? Oh, you're really skinny. Yeah, I love it. I love my body type. What can anybody say to you when you love yourself? And that's just physically. Or, you know, when you start to spiritually work on yourself and you're confident that you are a good person and you have a good heart and you're doing everything that you need to do to make a positive impact on this world and be a good person. And you know that you're following God's plan. And someone tries to come for your character. No. No. You have to be so confident in yourself. You have to be confident in the decisions you make. Okay? That can be the third part, is decision making, okay? You have to be confident in where you're at in life. And everything is a journey. Like I said, you have to know where you're going and where you came from so you can tread on your path correctly, okay? If you know what you're walking towards, you're going to walk with confidence and you're going to walk with ease. If you don't know where you're going and you have no plan, you're not confident, you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to be stuck here forever. No. Have goals, have aspirations, and know that you can achieve them. I don't care. Shoot for the stars. Say you want to go to the Grammys. Like, win a Grammy. I don't know. Astaghfirullah. Like, something like that. Or you want to write a best-selling book. Or, you know, building a masjid. Building a water well. You know, starting a school. Being able to memorize the whole Quran. Things like that. You could have spiritual goals too. Like, you have to have confidence in the decisions you're making. You have to have confidence in God. You have to have confidence that God will take you where you need to go and that God is taking you where you need to go right now. You have to have confidence that you are where you are right now for a reason. You could be struggling right now financially. Maybe God wants you to learn that lesson. Maybe God wants you to be more appreciative of what He has in store for you in the future. You have to be confident that Allah has you grow in stages. The Quran was revealed over 23 years. 23 years. That's as old as me, girl. That's my whole entire lifetime. We read the whole Quran every Ramadan in a whole month. The Quran was revealed in stages over 23 years. It takes time. It's not an overnight thing. It takes time and learning and growth to build true confidence. It's not just oh, overnight, boom, I'm going to love myself and I'm going to be this perfect person. It's an everyday strive, and we're not even perfect until we reach Jannah, inshallah. We're never going to be perfect on this earth. But you can strive to be the best you can be. You have to have confidence in who you are. You have to know who you are. And I didn't really touch on that too much, but you have to do the work to get to know yourself and who you are. Even like traumas and hurts that you've had in the past, that you need to transmute that energy into confidence. Like that hurt, that pain, whatever you've been through, you need to realize that that is a blessing from Allah. Once you wake up from this fever dream that is life, you're not even going to care about anything that happened to you in this world. Anything. You're not going to care about anything. Whatever happened to you in the past, negatively, that's going to make you more grateful for whatever God has in store for you for the future. If you've been treated badly by someone, it's so you can appreciate the person that treats you good. If you were starving, if you were broke, that's going to make you appreciate having good food and having money. You have to keep God at the forefront of your consciousness. Understand that God puts you through everything for a reason. When that hurt starts to creep up, you just have to remember that. You just have to remember that this world is absolutely nothing. This world is literally a blip. You're going to literally be like, oh, I thought I was there for a day or a part of the day. Yeah. Your whole life. A day or a part of a day. Please. We got the whole akhirah after this. We got eternal life after this. And you're worried about this? Come on, girl. Stand up. Please. Don't embarrass me. But this episode's getting kind of long, so I'm going to end it here. We'll have an episode about haters. We'll dive into these topics again a little bit. But yeah, thanks for listening in, girls. I hope that this helped you in any way, shape, or form. I hope that all of us can gain confidence. I hope that we all grow in our confidence, in our self-love. And I'll definitely be talking about this again in the future because it's so important. It's so important. But I love you guys. Stay gorgeous. Make sure that crown stays straight. Don't let it fall. And if it falls, pick it up if you fall. And if you feel like you're down, just remember the queens always rise up. Anyway, love you guys. Good night. Mwah.